Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, said the Lord of hosts. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, said the Lord of hosts. I'm Elijah, and that's the message the Lord God hath given unto me and give unto you. Not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, said the Lord of hosts. And that's found in Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6. So you know the spirit of the Lord is prophecy. And so that's the spirit of the Lord, prophecy. Revelation chapter 19, verse 10. Then say, I'm going to send Elijah to you before the great and dreadful day of the Lord. He should turn the hearts of the children back to the fathers' heart back to the children. He said, come and strike those with a curse. So they have a lot going on out there. Really a lot. They have this young guy, this highly intelligent, flat earth boxer. That's what he's called. And a lot of things he have right, but some things he need to study more upon. Now, the reason why I'm telling you that, so if you listen to him, I know he's going to say some things that don't agree, but listen to it all the way out, and then you'll find some things that he said that are right on top of it. The reason why I'm telling you this because when our father Benjamin went to see our father Joseph, so what they did was, they had never seen each other. Benjamin had never seen Joseph. Joseph had never, but when they got together, Joseph took my father Benjamin back and told him, find out where your brother Joseph is at. And so he did, and he took the map and the star map and everything. Said to this map, he's right here, just like that. And so that's what I'm telling you, man. So this technology, I mean not technology, the reading of the stars. Lord God said he's the one who put them there. He called them all by name, and it is under all his commands. So go find out. Just listen to the young man, because he have a lot of things right. Because the blue Katrina, the blue Katrina. So he talks about that, but he doesn't know that. I don't think he know about that prophecy. But anyway, man, that's what's going on now. The blue Katrina prophecy. But the Indians say, what my people say, my daddy's people say. Yeah, that's what's going on now. So, but anyway, so let's get into it. Rob Parsley, that's his name, Rob Parsley. Now, I told you, man, when I want to look at one of them, all the Lord God do send me to that demon station, Daystar, and I told you it's a demon station. So go read in the book of this book right here, matter of fact, got it right. This book, the Testament of Solomon, and they tell you about the demon star, Daystar. We got other demon stars too, but that's specifically when you talk about Daystar. So Rob Parsley, he gonna say that Israel, that's us. We was in slavery in Egypt for 400 years. It's a lie. That's a lie. I told you, man, you listen to all these people. Lie, boy. He come to me. When they come to me, they not, I don't think they want to see me. I don't think they want to have no conversation or nothing with me. I really don't think so. But they got a few might try me. But anyway, so let's go to the book of Jasher, 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 and it's in this book. Banned from the Bible, but Jasher is written in other books also. I'm just talking about the one that I'm reading for. And so we go on to chapter 80, chapter 81, verse 4. The book of Jasher, chapter 81, verse 4. And look what it says. And at the end of 210 years, the Lord brought forth the children of Israel from Egypt with a strong hand. Now, does that sound like we stay in slavery in Egypt for 400 years? No, that's not the 400-year slavery. The 400-year slavery has ended, and that was with us, and that is now, because the Lord God coming back and get us the same way with a strong hand, outstretched arm, with a mighty hand, outstretched arm, with a strong hand, coming getting us again. And you say, oh, there you go. Now you can. I mean, I totally show you that over and over again. But once again, I'll tell it to you, show it to you again. After time for us to get up and go out. Yes, it is. All right. So, of course, I have two dreams for you. No, let's get back to Rob Parsley. So now that's one lie that now you gotta go read and find that out. Now you can come back on and call me a liar, whatever you want to do. But I have read that to you. Now that's another thing. Now the 400 years of slavery, but then he gonna talk about right after that. Then he gonna talk about by my praying hands, my statue hands, the silver hands he put out statues. He want $1,000 for those. I told you, man, these people serving idols, and a lot of people following behind these people serving idols. But I didn't read in the book of Enoch, you're not gonna be spared neither. Yeah, I already told you that you're not gonna be spared. All right, well, that's where we're going at. We're going to the book of Enoch this morning. And I also have, the reason why, because a whole lot of them. See, once one start, then the next one start. I told you about them people, the Hutchins or whatever, and they have some statues too that they want $1,000 for. And that's all you're doing, worshiping idols. That's what all you're doing, worshiping idols. Now you're gonna have to excuse me for a moment, man. I really don't want to start this video over. I really don't want to start this video, but I gotta do something. So just wait a second, and I'll be back on. Now you can listen to my voice, but I got, because it's getting to. So it's getting to. Forgive me, please forgive me, but it's getting to be as Father Enoch say, the sun. We're in the season, the sweating season, the heat and the sweating season. And in that season, he tells you how the sun goes in and out of orbit. And that's another thing I'm trying to tell this young man to go read the book of Enoch. And the book of Enoch explains all the suns and the moon and the winter, those that come out and those that they go in. So you got to read that because he have that type of understanding. See, God have every man, he give every man every man has something different. And so this young man, he have that talent. He can read them stars. I'm telling you, he can read those stars. And if you get in the book of Enoch and read that, man, how much more knowledge and wisdom and understanding he could accumulate, what God would open up to him. All right, let's go. Man, I had them dreams. In the book of Enoch, he had a dream, and he told his father, I think he told his grandfather, Michael, because Enoch is Jared's son, and he told his grandfather about the dream he had, how the whole world was destroyed. And y'all have to forgive me, I lied to you. I can admit my lie. Yes, I have lied to you, and I always told you go to chapter 86 in the book of Enoch for learning about the posterity, which is the posterity. Now, don't get me wrong. It talks about the posterity that was left, but I was trying to steer you to where Enoch, our father Enoch, asked for the God for the posterity, asked the most gracious, the most high, most gracious Father, for leave him a posterity on earth. And that's found in the book of Enoch, chapter 84. The book of Enoch, chapter 84. So forgive me for that, and we'll move on. All right. The dreams. Man. God is not playing. God is not playing. I tell you, he's not playing. He's not playing. So here's the dream. And I really didn't want to read all these dreams to you today. I really didn't. But all of them are so important. So important. Okay. Yesterday was the covenant day. I know you think I'm speaking a lot. The reason why I'm speaking a lot, and I'm not really babbling, as they say. And usually I don't speak in these many words, but when I have a dream, the dream is terrifies you. Which I don't get terrified of dreams. Just some dreams shake me. Some dreams are happen in the spirit world, and it shake me in the real world, in the flesh world, and I wake up. Some dreams are like that. This is the dream. I was in the spirit world. They had this man, he had on white bottom and gray top scrub. He was just flirting with the woman. We were in we were in a setting with a lot of people eating, drinking. He was very tall man, real big, not slender. I got into an altercation with the man. So about flirting with a woman, I didn't know who the woman was. I tried to bring him down, but he was so tall. So I grabbed him. So I started started grabbing at his sternum, but he put his hand there and told me, no, 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 while he used his other left hand and waggled to me, like that. So waggling and telling me, no, no, no. Next thing, he was sitting on the bench on a pier, along with others by himself, quiet, holding on to something in his hand. So he was sitting on the pew, and the pew was face south. And he was sitting on the corner, the end. But there had other people on the bench that was living, but he was sitting by himself, like he'd been over talking to people. This person wouldn't know he wasn't like that. He was by himself. Let me just read the dream, and I'll go back over there with you. And I say he is a priest, and no one knew it. Next scene, he was sitting at a round table, large, about 15 people, maybe a little less, 10. The room is crowded with people, and I'm looking at him, and he takes a butter knife that he's holding in his left hand. He put it up to his face and he put it up to his face and start cutting up and start cutting it up, cutting his face up. It was his right face. He was cutting it up. No, I'm just very free. Cutting it up. And just let me finish reading it to you. And right face, and before he started, I turned my head and I could hear. He took the butter knife and started up. So he stood up. He stood up and he had the knife in his hand. I don't know why I didn't write that down like that. He put it up to his face, and he stood up and put it to his right eye. I took his right eye. Before he started, I turned my head and I can hear the pop, and I see the blood gush out of his socket. A large round spot on his scrub. He plucked out his eye. That's what he did. He plucked out his eye, and the blood rushed out the socket. I see a large round spot on his scrub, on his shirt, but on his hand, and his hands are down. The eyeball is on the butter knife. Well, it's a knife, like a butter knife, in his left hand, and he is standing up like a strong man, a giant of a man. See, now he was crying. He was not crying, hollering out. His hand was just on. His hand wasn't on the missing eye socket. I just woke up. You know how he did like he didn't do none of that. Now let me repeat the dream to you. Man, when I saw that, I said, man, that was a strong man. So it's in the spirit world. So this man, he had on white, scrub. You know how to scrub, so you have the white in the bottom. So the top was white and I'm saying the top was white. The top was white and the bottom was gray. The top was green, the bottom was white. That's what it was. The top was green, the bottom was white. And but on here, the white bottom, all right, the gray top started the same thing. And he was just flirting with the woman, like he was leaning over flirting with this woman. And we was in a setting with a lot of people eating and drinking. He was a very tall man, real big, not slender. I had them big old. You have some basketball players who were tall and this slender type, but he was tall, Shaq type, big old tall man, but he was way taller than Shaq. Yeah. So I got into an altercation with him, and it was about flirting with a woman. That's what he was doing. And so I didn't know who the woman was, so I tried to bring him down, but he was so tall. So me and him got in an altercation, so I lunged at him. So when I lunged at him, whatever. So when I tried to grab him by his leg and everything, but he was so tall and everything, so he just pushed me down like that. But so then I went at him again, but this time I was going for the scrotums. Yeah, I was going for the scrotums. I'll get to that. I know I'm gonna bring him down. But then he took his hand and put his hand down there, and told me, no, no, no. This hand said, no, 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 just like that. So man, when he did that, so the next scene, yeah, so he did that, so I stopped that. So so the next scene, he was sitting on this bench, a pew, just a regular pew bench, like when you go to church, you have these benches at a pew. But he was the bench and stuff was facing south, but he was next to this wall. He was next to the wall, and he was on the pew. But there are other people on the pew too. But he was on the end of it, and he was on the end of it. But he was by himself. You know how you have a whole lot of people on a pew, but you don't know nobody. And he was sitting there quiet by himself on the end of that pew. That's what he was doing. And they had a lot of people in the room. I don't know where we was at, but they had a lot of people in there, different people talking, doing different things, and had a round table. So I didn't, I'm in the spirit world. I don't know what's going on, but I'm there. So the next scene, so after that, after I see him sitting by himself, um, as he said, as he was sitting by himself, and he was holding quiet, and he was holding something in his hand. Now I don't know what he had in his hand, but he was holding something in his hand. And I say, he is a priest, and no one knew it. That's why I say, he is a priest, and no one knew it, that he was a priest. So that's what it came in, in spirit word tells you different things. So that's what it said. I said, he's a priest, and no one knew it. And so next scene, he's sitting at the round table. You know how a round table is, sitting at the round table. And they have other people sitting at the round table. So the round table is pretty big. So I want to say about 15 people, but it might have been less, might have been 10 people or so. But so now they have plates and everything. So he takes and reach over and take this, they have a butter knife or a knife that's on his plate. So he reaches over there and takes that. And so I'm watching him. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm watching him. And so he takes the butter knife and he cuts the top rim of his right eye. He cut the top rim of his right eye and cut the bottom of his left eye. So I'm seeing him doing, I see the little blood rushing out and thing, but I'm not knowing what he's doing that for. And so the next thing, he just stands up. So when he stands up, he just takes the knife and he goes, just like that in his eye. But I'm trying to turn my head before I see what he's about to do. So I'm trying to turn my head, but it happened so fast, I couldn't help but to see it. And he took his eye and plucked it and plucked that right eye out, just like that. That's what he did. That's what he did. He plucked that right eye, just like that. And so I can see the blood just gush out. Whoosh, you can hear it. So he go, and then you can hear whoosh. And so the blood, so he's standing up there and you see a whole round spot of blood on his shirt, on his top scrub shirt. You see a big old round spot. And he's standing up there, not hollering, not screaming, not saying nothing. Standing up there with the eyeball on the butter knife. Just like that. And then I woke up from that dream. And I thought about that dream, yeah. Because when he was sitting down cutting over his eye, I didn't know what he was doing, but what he was doing, he was cutting his eyelid, so when he stick his eyelid, it couldn't blink, it couldn't close, and he can pluck that eye right out. Yeah, man, that was a big, strong man did that, man. I'm talking about strong in spirit and everything. He just was a strong man. Yeah, because you can take that and pluck that eyeball out like that, and don't flame, don't howl, don't scream, don't do nothing. And then stood up there. And then take his hand and do like that to stop the bleeding or nothing. Just stood up there with the eyeball in his hand. Yeah, that was the first, I don't know if that was the first dream, but that's the first one that I could remember. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was the first one. Man. To see that dream. Okay, let's go to the next dream. Because, this is time, uh, this is the time I could really hold all these dreams. I can hold these dreams till some other time, but nah, I can't. Dreams are, because you're gonna forget the dreams, and I hope you don't forget them. I hope you don't. I hope you don't. I hope you don't. This dream here is for, because my dad is an Indian. My dad was an Indian. Israel Indian. But they call them Native Americans and all that foolishness. But he was an Indian. So this is on that plane. I was at this. I was at this place. I met this woman, and we're gonna say the woman name is Karen. Could be a Karen, could be Carl or anybody, but I'm gonna say Karen. Now, could say Karen, and she had this red Corvette. She was driving one. She was driving one car, and I was driving the red Corvette. We parked it in front of this place. We go in. I have on my sackcloth. We start walking in the building. She gives me some money. I put the money in my top shirt pocket. We goes up these stairs. We into this door, and I take some of the money and put it into my pocket also. Some of my money, and I take it and put it in the top pocket also. So I look at my pocket, and they have this piece of myrrh in it, but it don't look like myrrh. Myrrh. It looks like it just looked like a brown rock. That's what it looked like, a brown piece of rock. But anybody know myrrh, that's how it looked. But at first I couldn't tell what it is. So we are in the stairs. We upstairs now. We meet this man that is sitting down waiting for us. So now we get started down. When we get started down, I have on a white T-shirt. So I have on a white T-shirt, and the man is an old Indian. He looks like my dad people, which they are Indians. And now I look down and I have no shirt on, just my pants and a belt. And I look at him. He doesn't have on a shirt either, only pants and a belt. Then the woman who I am with has on a blue dress. She makes a comment. I said, you don't have much time left. And he said, along with me, you only have a year left. We both said, no, I'll come back over. And he said again, we only have a year left. I walk over to him and I said it the dream. And the man said, first I'm going to cut off, I'm going to come. First, I'm going to come and I recite what he said, and he and I said it together. The first year, I'm going to come and cut off your right hand, and then the next year, I'm going to come and cut off thy left hand, and he said, there's only a year left. That was he said. He said, it's only a year left. I said, in a half. And next scene, Karen takes the money out of my pocket, out of my top shirt, along with some keys, the red Corvette. We get out on the street looking for the cars. And I hear someone call me out, and she said, hey, boo, just like that. So I look over by her, and there are a lot of people sitting out in the park. And I see no houses, just this one red car. Looks like the Corvette, but it's not. It just was looking like it. And the woman who saw me, I felt ashamed that she saw me with this woman, Karen. She is walking in front of me with a long blue and white coat, long blue and white, like it wasn't checkered, but you know how they have that. Well, I'll get back to it. And she tells me to stand here while she go looking for the cars. Now it's a barren place. I am inside this gate, and I look there. It's nothing, no building, no cars, nothing. I don't even see her. Just heard her voice, and I wake up. Okay. So I this dream really opened up. I had to be in a building setting. And so I meet this woman in a building setting. So I know. So I said her name is Karen. So as I meet her in the building setting, so she had this red Corvette. So she must ask me to do something for her, because I was driving the red Corvette and she was driving this white car. And so as we drive, so we was driving. So we parked the car in front of this place. Both of the cars. So we get out. We go in this building. So I have on my sackcloth, just like I have on now. I wear sackcloth all the time. I wear sackcloth. And people don't understand what sackcloth and burlap are two different things. Sackcloth are no more than cheap clothes that you wear, like a pair of these jeans I buy from Dickie. Now those are real sackcloth. You can't do nothing with them. They got to wear out on their own. The color fade, and man, you got to really put some work to wear them out. And then I have on the Walmart $8, $9 shirt, And the same thing, you gotta do a lot. It'll fade, but it ain't gonna tear up that easy. No, no, no. And so that's sackcloth. Yeah. And so I had one. So we start walking in this building. She gives me some money, and I take the money and I have on a blue shirt, and but it have just like this, but it have a pocket on. So I take the money and put it in a pocket, and the money that she giving us. So I put it in my pocket shirt. So we gets up the stairs. Uh, so we get up the stairs. We entered into this door. So we go upstairs, went into this door. So I take some money that I had in my pocket also. So I put it along with that money also. But when I look in my pocket, they had this brown piece. It looked like a rock. You know, it didn't look like a rock, but it looked like a little brown piece of dirt. That's what it looked like, though, brown. Well, then I realized that it's a piece of mud. Yeah. So I takes that and I just take it and put it back in my pocket. So as I put that back in my pocket, we are up the stairs now. We go through this door. So when we go to this door, they have a man that's sitting on the steps. Yeah, you have the man sitting on the steps. So as he steps on the steps, as he's sitting down on the steps, we are meet him, and so now all of us are going down the steps. But he was sitting down on the steps waiting for us, or waiting for me anyway. So as he was sitting down on the steps waiting for me, and so all of us now we go down the steps. So as we start going down the steps, now I have on a white T-shirt, just like I have on now. I just have on a white T-shirt. So we start going down the steps, and so as we get down the steps and we get outside. So we get outside, look, I say I have a white T-shirt. And so next, as I'm looking down, next thing you know, the white T-shirt gone. I look down again, all I have on, nothing. All I have on my pants with a belt on, and I see him. And so when I look at him, look just like my people, man. He have his hair long and stuff down there. And, you know, the color of my people and everything. He old, yeah, he's an elder. And so when he sees me, yeah, he had white t-shirt on the man, oh, and it looks like my dad's people. So now I look down and I have on no shirt, just pants with a belt. So I look at him. He doesn't have on a shirt either, only pants and a belt. And I could see I could see him. He elder and everything. So the woman who I'm with, now she has on this blue dress. I can't remember. It's long. It's not a blue dress. It's one of those coats that they wear on top. You know, them long coats. I don't know the name of it. It's a covering that the women just, you know, it looks like a coat, but it's not a coat. It's just a covering that they put in. But this one was blue and white, and she has that on. And so so she makes a comment, and I said, you don't have that much time left. And he says, along with me, you only have a year left. Both of us said together. You know, I'm looking at him, he looking at me, you only have, you know, I said, we looked at her, and I said, you don't have that much time left. And he looked at me, you only have a year left. Just like that. I looked at him, looked at me, he said, you only have a year left. And he said again, you only have a year left. And I walked over to him and I said, in a dream, the man said I was going to come. Then both of us said together. I said in the dream, the man said, first I'm coming to cut off your right hand. Then the next year, they said, the first year I'm coming to cut off your right hand. Then the next year I'm coming to cut off that left hand. And both of us were striking that together. And then after we said that, then he said, you only have a year left. That's what he said. He said, you only have a year left. Now he told me. And I said, and then I said, in a half, just like I said. Well, the reason why I told him in a half, because in the dream, now me and him recite this together. We both of us had the same dream. But then he the one told me that they only have a year left. And I told him that both at the same time, that you only have a year left. But then I said, you only in a half came to me. But the reason why I told him, because the law of God said within 3 years. Yes, the law of God said within 3 years. So you only have a whole year left. And so after I told them, so the next scene, Next thing, I hit back on my blue shirt and had money in my money and stuff in the pocket. So she comes over there, she takes the money out of my pocket along with some keys. Okay, then the keys to this red Corvette. So we get out on the street. So we was in the back, like a backyard or something. Then we go walk through the entranceway. Now we back on the street. So as we back on the street looking for the car, so I hear somebody call and say, "Hey, boo," just like that. And so when I turn around, I see a woman, I recognize the woman now. You know, her name and stuff don't come to me right away. Still though, face very familiar, and I had seen her before, but I can't recognize. But she's sitting down with some other people, look like in a park setting, but they don't have no buildings around. No, they have only that one red Corvette, only a one red car that looked like the car that was it, but it wasn't mine. But when she calls me and everything and say hey boo and everything, and she's sitting down and there's no cars on that little car there, and so when she said, I feel so ashamed. I mean, I feel ashamed that she see me walking behind this woman. Now I don't know if she knows a lot of women, but I just was ashamed that the woman was walking in front of me and everything, and I was ashamed that I was walking with this woman walking behind this woman. So just like that. And so that's what it said. For the woman who saw me, I felt ashamed that she saw me with the woman carrying. She is walking in front of me with a long blue and white, covering, coat of covering. She tells me to stand here. Now, next scene after that, she tells me to stand here because now she's going to look for the car. Now, the place that she left me was like inside of a gate, but inside the gate, all they have is dirt. You don't see nothing else, only dirt. You don't see no buildings, no car, no nothing. It just looked like a desolate place, and all they have is a fence. That's how it looked. And then I woke up from that dream. Yeah. So that's the second dream. Okay. Man, I have so many dreams, but I want to stop it right there. I want to stop it right there. I'm gonna tell you this little quick vision that I had because I was little quick vision I had. You know how you shut your eyes and you have a vision that comes to you, what's one of those type of dreams. And all I can see, they had a map, and on the map they had a red pen, and in the red pen they had other places on the map. There was in pink, some was in dark pink, some was in light pink, and some of them had white stripe with pink in them on that, you know. Yeah. Then another quick thing on this boat at the helm of a modern boat, the seas was rough, but they had this door. You know, as the sea was rough on there, so they have this opening to a door. You know how you have an opening like into another portal or something, another realm, another dimension. So it looked like that, and it was a 4x4, and I was waiting for them on the other side to send something through. That's what it did. But I was on the ship, and I was holding that say the helm, you know, the wheel, that's the helm. And I was holding that, and I'm looking over there at them, you know, at the opening of that thing. And I was waiting for them to send something through. But then I woke up for that. Yeah. Then another thing, I see this bright flash of light. Someone said you can't because it is bigger than you. Yeah, I seen this. Oh man, they had a lot of things that was floating around. Then all of a sudden, I see a burst. You know how you like somebody takes and open up something, and then you see that sunlight bursts or something like that, and it was a light that it burst. I mean, it burst on the scene, and it was like a big flash of light. And someone said, "You can't because he is bigger than you." That's what it says. Say you can't because he is bigger than you. And another woman said she is burning that 21%. That's what it said. She is burning that 21%. So I have two other dreams for you. Two other dreams. But let's go. Let's get because I'll stay in them dreams and then you won't get no words or anything that you need. Because I went to the book of Enoch because they said whatever's going to happen. Said Enoch wrote down the things that was going to happen from the beginning of time to the end of time. And he did. He did. He wrote them down. Even like the time we living in today with the false prophets and everything. Father Enoch wrote that down, and he wrote down what was going to happen to him. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what he wrote that down. Yeah, he wrote all that down. And that's the richest part. And so I just went there because you have this planet that they say that there's coming on Earth. So that's what I was looking at, and that's a star, really. That's a star that's coming on Earth. So I was looking for that star that was coming on. I found it. I found it, but it's not now. I just want to make sure that it is that, because we could easily get into something and find out that it's not that. So, but really, this when you go to the book of Enoch, and this you go to the book of Enoch. And so when you go to the book of Enoch, it starts telling our father Enoch start telling our father I want to say Lamont. That's Noah's father. He started telling him because Lamont had a son, and that Noah was born, and so he had a dream. Lamont, no, when Lamont's son was born was Noah, so we know how Noah was. You guys, excuse me, because I'm trying to get it together. Because I want to say it the right way. Lamont and Michael, that's Noah's grandson. No. Lamont is Enoch's son. Michael is Enoch's daddy. And so, man, I got it wrong again. Well, anyway, so let's go to chapter 81. Chapter 81, make sure. Chapter 81, let's make sure that say, and Enoch, and he said to me, Enoch, look, these heavenly tablets, read what is written on them, and mark every individual fact. And I looked at the heavenly tablets and read everything which was written on it and understood everything. That's it. Chapter 81. Chapter 81. And he said to me, Enoch, look at these heavenly tablets and read what is written on them and mark every individual fact. And I looked at the heavenly tablets and read everything which was written on it and understood everything, and read the book for all the deeds of mankind and of all the children of flesh that shall be on the earth to the end of generation. And so when you don't understand a prophecy or what's in the Holy Bible or in one of those prophecies in another book, go to the book of Enoch because it's written in there. And or either if you do understand it and you want to back it up, just go to the book of Enoch. And I bless the great Lord of King of glory forever, is that he has made all works of the world, and I exalted the Lord because of his patience, and blessed him because the children of men for the children of men. And then I said, blessed is the man who dies in righteousness and goodness, concerning whom there is no book of unrighteousness written, and against whom the day of judgment should be found, and against whom no day of judgment should be found. And the seven holy ones brought me and placed me on the earth before the door of my house, and said to me, declare everything to your son Methuselah. See, there you go, Methuselah, his son. And show to all your children that no flesh is righteous in the sight of the Lord, for he is the creator. See, no flesh is righteous in the sight of the Lord because he is the creator. For 1 year we will leave you with your sons until you give your last commands, that you may teach your children and to record it for them, and testify to all your children in the 2nd year that they should take you from their midst. Let your heart be strong, for good shall proclaim righteousness to the good, and the righteous shall rejoice with the righteous, and shall wish one another well. But the sinner shall die with the sinners, and the apostate, that we say apostate, shall go down with the apostate. And those who practice righteousness shall die on account of the deeds of men. It said, those who practice righteousness shall die on account of the deeds of men, and be taken away on account of the deeds of the godless. In those days they finished speaking to me, and I came to my people, blessing the Lord of the world. And now, my son Methuselah, all these things I am recounting to you and write down for you. And I have revealed to you everything and given you books concerning all these. So, my son Methuselah, preserve the books for your father's hand, and see that you deliver them to the generations of the world. So that was the books that were supposed to be delivered, but we know what happened. So you go to 2 Maccabees and read what happened to the books. I have given wisdom to you and to your, well, they still hear him, I'm telling you, but he was supposed, no. I have given wisdom to you and your children, and those children that come, that they may give it to their children for generations. The wisdom, namely, that passes their understanding. See, this wisdom, namely, that passes their understanding. And those who understand it shall not sleep, but shall listen to that they may learn this wisdom, and it shall please those that eat thereof better than good food. And so that's what I'm telling you. They got you eating meat. Got you eating, drinking milk and eating bread in that Holy Bible. But when you come to this book, then you're going to start eating meat, better food. That's what we say. And those who understand it should not sleep, but listen, that they may learn this wisdom, and it shall please those that eat thereof better than good food. Blessed are all the righteous. Blessed are all those who walk in the way of righteousness, and sin not as the sinners, in the number of their days in which the sun traversed heaven, entering to departing from the doors for 30 days, with the heads of 1,000 order of stars, together with the four which are within the calendar, which divide the full portion of the year, which leave them and enter with them 4 days. Okay, oh man, I don't want to read all this. The reason why I don't want to read it, but I hope that I got the brother name, Black Earth Boxer, read this, because this is what he's into. This is the Lord showing. Owing to them, men shall be at fault and not count them the whole number of days of year. Men shall be at fault and not recognize them accurately. For they belong to the calculation of the year, and truly record therein forever. One in the first door, and one in the third, one in the fourth, one in the sixth, and the year is completed 364 days. And on account of this accurate and recorded count thereof is exact. For the luminaries and months and festivals and years and days, as Uriel showed and revealed to me, whom the Lord of the whole creation of the world hath subjected the hosts of heaven, and has power over night and day in the heaven, caused the light to shine on men via the sun, moon, and stars, and all the powers of heaven which revolve in the circular chariot. And these are the orders of the stars which set in their place, and their season and festivals and months. And these are the name of those who lead them, which they enter at their times, and their orders in their season, their months, and their periods of dominion, and in their position. There are 4 leaders who divide 4 parts of the year into first, and after them 12 leaders of the order who divide the months. And the 360 days are the heads over thousands who divide the days. For the 4 days in the calendar, there are leaders which divide the 4 parts of the year. And these heads over 1,000 interspire between leaders and leader, and each behind a station, but their leaders make the division. And these are the name of leaders who divide the 4 parts of the year, which are ordained. Then he go into the 4 parts. But let's say Mikael, Emilak, and Me-Ejalel, Narael, and the names of who lead them are Adnael and Ajazael and Elohim-El. That's what it says. So I'm saying, but well, let me continue on, and then I'll go ahead. And it say, and there and three follow the leaders of their order, and there is one that follow the three leaders of the order, which follow those leaders of the station that divide the 4 parts of the year. In the beginning of the year, Jael rises first and rules, and whose name is Tama Anna, and the sun, and all the days of his dominion, while he bears rule 91 days. My time is up. 91 days. But I'm going to finish reading this and we'll go into something else. 91 days. And these are the signs of the days which are being seen on earth in the days of his dominion. Sweat and heat and calm. That's what you're in now. And the trees bear fruit, and leaves are produced on all the trees in the harvest of the wheat. And the rose flowers and all the flowers which come out in the field. But the trees of the winter season become withered. And these are the names of the leaders which are under them. They say Barakael, Zelabazel, and there's another who's added a head of 1,000 called Halujas. Let's say Halujesap. And the days of dominion of the leaders are at an end. And the next leader after him is say Hel Imalak, who names the shining suns, and all the days of his light are 91. And these are the signs of days on earth: glory and heat, dryness, trees ripen from their fruit and produce all fruits ripe and ready. And the sheep pair and become pregnant, and all the fruits of the earth are gathered, and everything that is in the fields. And the winepress, these things take place in the days of his dominion. These are the names and all the leaders of the heads of 1,000. Let's see, Gidilajel, Ikael, Heael, the name of the head of 1,000 which added them, Espaphael, and these days of his dominion are added in. So that's what this is what he said. Let's go into the next one. The next one say, and now my son Methuselah, I will show you all my visions which I have seen, recounting them before you. I saw 2 visions before I got married, and one was quite unlike the other. The first when I was learning to write. The second before I married your mother, when I saw a terrible vision. And regarding then I prayed to the Lord, and I laid down in the house of my grandfather, Mahalalel. Now that's his grandfather. I had that part right. Mahalalel. When I saw in the vision how heaven collapsed and was carried off and fell to the earth. That's what it said, man. I done seen that so many. All these things what Father Enoch seen. I seen God. I done seen also. Yeah. Oh yeah. And when I fell to the earth, I saw how the earth was swallowed up in a great abyss, and the mountains suspended on mountains, and the hills sunk down on earth, and her tree was ripe from their stem, and hurled down and sunk in the abyss. And the world fell into my mouth. And I lifted up my voice to cry aloud and say, and then let's say the word, forgive me. And then a word fell into my mouth, and I lifted up my voice and cried aloud and said, the earth is destroyed. And my grandfather, Mahalalel, woke me up, and I laid near him and said to me, why do you cry so, my son? And why do you make such a mourning? And I recounted to him the whole vision which I had seen. He said to me, you have seen a terrible thing, my son. Your dream is of a grave time and concern the secret of all the sins of the earth. It must sink into abyss to be totally destroyed. And that's where you at now. The world is sunk into the abyss. Yeah, well, we'll see. And now, my son, arise and pray to the Lord of glory, since you are a believer, that a remnant may remain on earth, that he may not destroy the whole earth. My son, from heaven, all this will come on the earth, and on the earth there will be a great destruction. And after that I rose and prayed and implored and besought God and wrote down my prayer for the generation of the world, for the generations, that's an S on it, of the world. And I will show everything to you, Methuselah. And when I had gone out below and seen the heavens and the sun rising in the east and the moon setting in the west and a few stars in the whole earth and everything as he had known in the beginning, then I blessed the Lord of judgment and exalted him because he had made the sun go out from the windows of the east and ascend and rose on the face of heaven and set out and kept traversing the path shown to it. And I lifted my hands in righteousness and blessed the Holy and Great One, and spoke with the breath of my mouth and with the tongue of flesh which God had made for the children of flesh men, that they should speak therewith. And he gave them breath and a tongue and a mouth that they should speak therewith. And blessed be you, O Lord, King, great and mighty in your greatness. Lord, the whole creation, heaven, let me see, Lord of the whole creation of heaven, kings of kings, and God of the whole world, and your power and kingship and greatness abide forever and ever. And throughout all generations, your dominion in heaven are your throne forever. Yeah, dominion, all heavens are your throne forever, and the whole earth your footstool forever and ever. Let me stop right there for just for a few seconds, for about 30 seconds. The reason why sometimes I just recite stuff that I have been pounded in me since I was a kid. Just like your first address and your first phone number have been pounded in since you was a kid. It's the same thing they have done to us with this air. Yeah, a lot of stuff you just been pounded into you. And it's hard for you to get out, but get it out, please, please, please. Say, blessed ye, O Lord, King, great and mighty in your greatness, Lord of the whole creation of heaven, King of kings and God of the whole world, and your power and kingship and greatness abide forever and ever. Throughout all generations, your dominion and all heavens are your throne forever. See, dominion, all heavens are your throne forever, and the whole earth your footstool forever and ever. For you have made, and you rule all things. Nothing is too hard for you. Wisdom never departs from the place of your throne, nor turns away from your presence. We know and see and hear everything. Say, you know and see and hear everything, and there is nothing hidden from you, for you see everything. And now the angels of the heaven are guilty of trespass, and on the flesh of men abide your wrath until the great day of judgment. Say, now the angels of your heavens are guilty of trespass, and on the flesh of men abide your wrath until the great day of judgment. And now, O God, the Lord and great King, I implore and beseech you to fulfill my prayer, to leave me a posterity on earth. See, I told you, well, leave me a posterity on earth and not destroy all the flesh of men, and make the earth without inhabitant, so there should be no internal destruction. There should be no internal destruction. And now, my Lord, destroy from the earth the flesh which has aroused your wrath, but the flesh of righteousness and uprightness establish a eternal plant, bearing seed forever, and hide not your face from the prayer of your servant, O Lord. And so that's Enoch chapter 84, where Enoch prayed for us. And so that's what we are. We are the posterity. We are the righteous seed. And the Lord God looks over the righteous seed himself. And so this is not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit. And I have some other dreams that I have that the Lord God has shown me, and they are so important. They are very important. And so try not to remember the two dreams that I just gave you, and go back and look over and examine them and read them. Yeah, because like I said, especially like I listened to flat earth boxer. And so he was talking about the stars, and he didn't know. He was talking. But in one of them, he said about the blue. He talking about this blue area that was rising inside his board. And I know it's the blue Katrina, but he didn't know. When he said this blue thing that's rising, I don't know what that is, but that's what it is. And so that's happened. And then because my father people, an Indian, told me, and I told him, we both agreed that's on that year left, and I said in a half. So it got a whole year left, and then within that third year, so it's not by might, not by power, but by my spirit. Say before I go, I seen that man pluck out his eye. And the Lord God said, the right eye offend you, pluck it out. And he was a priest. You see, he was a priest. I don't know the dream. I just tell you the dream. I didn't read the dream, or I didn't try to actually understand the interpretation of the dream. I just gave you the dream. This is not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, say the Lord of hosts. And I'm Elijah. Until next time.